All right, this is Tom Taylor. We're back at the 2019 Grand National Roadster Show, and we've got a cool entrant with a cool story for you. And so, rather than me get into it, we'll let Jim Govro, who's the owner, get into it. This is Jim. Say hi to the Rodders Journal Facebook page.
Hi, y'all.
And this is the builder.
Yeah, I'm Keith Cardell, owner of Rex Rod and Chassis.
And you're in outside Austin?
Yeah, we're in Johnson City.
Very good. Okay. So, Jim is the original builder of this car that he started in 1951. And so, tell us a little bit about this. Well, let me back up. I guess we could say this is like a restoration of the way it was.
It is a restoration of the way it was in '58.
Okay.
And I had built the car it was just simply a body and a frame, bare body, nothing else, not anything. And it was upside down in a junkyard, $20.
$20.
And I didn't have the $20, and a friend bought it for me.
It was a junkyard in Austin?
Actually, it was a transmission shop, and it belonged to the nephew or the stepson of the guy that owned the transmission shop. And it had gotten sold to another guy named August Hartkoff, who was a hot rodder that a lot of folks around the country know. But it was still just a body and a frame. He never drove it.
So was it channeled when you bought it?
No, it wasn't. It was on top of the frame.
Okay.
And it had come from California. It was a track roadster. And a guy named Bob Marshall came out to California and bought 3 track roadsters and brought them back to Austin. And then they raced flat track roadsters out at Austin. And I don't know if it ever raced and if it run, or I don't know anything about that part of its history. But it was just a bare body and frame when I got it, and I lucked on. A friend of mine gave me the fenders for it, and I ran it without fenders for a long time. Ran it with a 39 model front end, so the wheels were back in the wrong place, and couldn't afford a radiator, so I got a radiator off of. Maybe it was a 32 radiator, but it was an old, pretty junky one, and I had to mount it out in front of the frame after I channeled it because it was too tall, and no hood and no top, and drove it to races, drove it to Bonneville, and raced at the Nationals in Oklahoma City and in Kansas City, and then I sold it because of my daughter being born.
When did you sell it?
In 1962, April of 1962. And
You needed some bucks.
yeah, I didn't have any money, and she was getting born, and I had to get her out of the hospital.
So you sold this in '62 to get your daughter out of the hospital, your newborn daughter. And so then what happened to it?
Well, I sold it to a guy that I knew there in Austin, and he kept it for 30 years. He drove it for 20 years, and it had gotten really raggedy by then, and so he tore it down to rebuild it, and then lost interest, and then he put it up for sale, and it was for sale for about 10 years. And
For 10 years and nobody bought it?
no, and then a guy from Kerrville bought it, a guy named Andy Rafferty, and he owned the car for 10 years, and but he was going to make a highboy out of it.
Okay, was he going to put it back on the frame?
Yeah, back on top of the frame, yeah.
Okay.
And then one day I went out there to the Deuce reunion, which they held in Kerrville at that time, and I took my box of pictures with me, and so then he called me about, I don't know, a month, or I talked to him. I don't know whether he called me or I called him. He talked to me about the headers that I had built on it, because it had a Chevrolet engine in it at that time.
Come with me.
And so I said, well,
There's some
why are
pictures.
you interested in the headers? And he said, well, after I looked at your pictures, I decided I was going to leave it channeled and rebuild it like it was.
Okay.
But then we happened to meet him at a swap meet, and my son Jimmy started working on him, and after a few years, he sold it back to me. And then it took me 2 years to gather the money to buy it back from to buy the car back. Just selling all my guns and stuff like that I had collected over all the years. So then I had planned to rebuild it myself, restore it like it was, and but my wife had 4 spine surgeries right after I bought the car, and in a year and a half she had 4 spine surgeries, and that just threw a monkey wrench at it. And then we took it out to the Lone Star Roundup with no front end, no front wheels or anything, just some little dolly wheels that fit underneath the front cross member.
Okay.
And it was sitting on top of the frame like he had left it.
Okay.
And then...
Had he put the floor and everything back in it, sub rails?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, he put the cross member in with no floorboards.
Okay.
And
And you, when you originally had it in the early 50s, you put the 40 dash in it?
yes, I did it myself.
Okay.
And I built the front rear bar. And
Let's go around and look at that here. Yeah. Very cool.
I used 232 model headlight bars because one wasn't long enough to drop the headlights down low enough.
Okay.
So I, put one, bent it up as far as I could, and bent the other one down as far as I could, welded them together.
Okay.
And,
But when you did this, all these parts were cheap. They weren't.
oh yeah, they were cheap, but I didn't have any money. I was making. My dad had a garage that he had just opened in '51, and I was working there and going to high school and working there on after school and on Saturdays, and I would get sometimes zero pay for a week and sometimes as much as $3 for a week's pay.
Wow.
And that's why I didn't have the money to buy the car. And a friend of mine bought it, and he said, well, you can just pay me back as you get the money. And I paid him $5 back, and then I paid him another $5. And when I gave him 15, or the last 5 there, he said, that's good enough, you don't owe me anymore.
Wow.
And then I scrounged up a 21-strut flathead engine for it, and I ran that for a while with the radiator sitting out here in front of the cross member. And then a friend of mine bought a 38 coupe. It had 24-strut engine in it, and 2 carburetors and aluminum heads. So he said, let's put my engine in your car and see how it runs.
Wow.
So we did that, and I went to the first races and won them, and
Okay.
won my class. And
what class was that? Like street roadster?
Yeah,
B
street roadster.
Okay.
And then after a few years, I put the Cadillac in it with a hydromatic, and I had it rigged where I could run it with a hydromatic or with a standard shift, because it didn't run. The hydromatic worked good around the streets, but it didn't work good for racing.
Okay.
So I rigged the hydromatic transmission, cut the back end off it all, and changed it where I could switch them back and forth.
So you were switching between the hydro and the standard?
Yeah, when I wanted to race, but around
Okay.
town I always had the hydromatic in it. But when we went to Bonneville, I had just a standard shift engine with the flathead engine with the 2 carburetors on it.
So you ran this at Bonneville?
No, I didn't run it at Bonneville. We
Oh,
just drove.
you just drove out there?
Yeah, we drove from Austin up to St. Louis, and then from St. Louis across Highway 40, which they called the all-weather highway, and almost all the way to Bonneville. It runs to, I think, to Salt Lake City.
And what year was that?
That was '54.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then '56, Nationals in Oklahoma City.
Right.
And '57 at the AHR Nationals in Kansas City.
Right.
And then I just raced around there at home. We had a shop truck, a 49 Chevrolet. It was a good-looking truck with louvered hood and dropped axle. And
Did you race this on the street?
oh yeah, I got caught too. But we had several tracks around there, and so we raced at New Braunfels.
So where'd you race it?
At New Braunfels and Hondo and Dallas at, not in Dallas, but at Caddo Mills.
Okay, Caddo Mills, yeah.
Actually, they took a picture of the car. Someone did, and it was maroon at the time with primer spots all over it, and just ugly as sin. And I had some seats out of a Jeepster, or Jeep station wagon, and I mounted a roll bar to the frame right here on both sides, and it was sitting right over the top of my head. Well, I guess it was back here, but this roll bar sat right over the top of my head. It was painted white, and but we bent the roll bar ourselves and put the roll bar in, and I put the braces in and everything for it, and I ran it in Oklahoma City. The roll bar was still painted white. In Kansas City, it was chromed.
Okay, all right. So that's how you can kind of tell the progression if we can find any photos of it. And so when you bought it back, I mean, it was your intention then to put it back like this?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And
is it nicer now than it was?
oh yeah, it's nicer than it was. But the upholstery was done by a really famous upholstery guy, and it was the same exact upholstery, but done by a different guy this time.
Okay.
That guy is 90 years old now.
Wow.
And he just finished a 46 Ford. It's just beautiful.
So the guy that's 90 did this upholstery?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not this upholstery.
Okay, the original.
The original upholstery.
Okay. And did you build the Cadillac yourself?
Keith built the Cadillac.
Okay.
The other Cadillac was a low mileage Cadillac that didn't have any miles on it. So,
Okay, you just pulled it out of a junker.
Yeah.
So it was pretty stock?
well, I had a cam and lifters and solid lifters in it.
Okay.
And rocker arms.
Okay.
And then I had the 4 carburetor manifolds.
Right.
Edelbrock manifold like it's on it now.
Which I don't know if we can see or not, but
You can take the hood loose if you want to.
we can kind of see it here.
I can
Okay, all right, yeah, we'd like to see it.
Let me get this one. That one didn't fall out good.
Here, I got the. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Very cool.
Yeah, I had that same manifold. It cost me like $125 or something like that back then. We bought this one off the internet, and it was unpolished, and it was $2,450.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it had the same exhaust, the same intake valve covers on it, and the same. We got a brand new Spalding flamethrower, which was what it had on it back then.
Yeah, I don't think they made too many of those intakes. Yeah. And then no progression. It's just, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't hardly do that progressive linkage with this kind of manifold.
No, you can't. Wow, look at that. So have you driven it much?
No, it's just finished restoring it,
Okay.
and I didn't get to drive it at all. And I've driven it a few feet, but that's about all.
Does it feel the same?
Yeah, once I get in the car, everything feels the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the steering wheel, it's the same steering gear. Well, he had taken the steering gear out and put one of the Chevrolet steering gears in it.
Okay.
And
So what's the steering in this?
it's a 37 Nash.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys found a 37 Nash steering?
Actually, I talked to a guy I advertised on the Nash website, and a guy in Idaho, I think it's St. George, Idaho. It's right on the bottom of the border, right straight down from Salt Lake City. And he had 2 of them. And so I said, well, I want both of them. How much you want? He said, oh, you can have them. So he sent them to me.
Wow. Wow.
Because I've got a 32 truck also that I'm going to build for my daughter right over there.
Okay.
And so she likes flatbeds, and so
Is she the one you sold the car for?
yeah,
To get her out of.
yeah.
All right.
And then my other daughter's coming on Saturday.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, this is pretty exciting. Very cool.
It's very exciting for me. I mean, to be here among all these really super cars. And were
Wow.
kind of the
Traditional cars lately have won. I mean, some have not, but some years they have. So you don't know. But it's probably just cool just being here, right?
oh, it's great being here. Because I had tried to go to the Oakland Roadster show back in '56, and I sent in and got the entry blank and was planning on going, but I didn't have anybody to go with me. I'd have to drive alone all the way out there, and I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
So I never did get rich. I was always a poor guy. And
Well, you've got this Roadster. This is pretty rich, I'll tell you.
well, these guys here, Rex Rods, did all the work on it.
Very cool.
They said, as long as I was willing to put the car back like it had been, they would do it labor free.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's yeah. It had to be the way it was. Because it looks very cool. Well, it's a great story.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you very much.
I just put last night, well, my brother-in-law put it last night on the what is it, the site where you can, Facebook. On Facebook, if you punch in Jim Govro.
You know what? Hang on just a sec. I don't think we can hear anything.
Yeah.
I think it's getting. Let me walk around the car again, and then I'll come back. There we go. I think we'll be able to hear you a lot better. Anyway, go ahead.
Now we got the shirts. to
Oh
match.
boy, look at that.
We had,
You guys went all out. So anyway, what were you saying?
we started in 1955.
Okay.
If you look on Facebook and punch in Jim Govro, Govro, Tweety 32, it'll come up with the whole story, which is about 16 or 18 pages long.
Wow.
Of,
Okay.
of buying the car and all the stuff that happened in between now and then.
Okay. All right. Because I think people want to see that. I mean, here's a couple of the pictures. He's got his book here. That's from the 57 Nationals.
That was Tom Manley.
Pardon?
That was Tom Manley.
Really? Oh yeah, there. So there's Tom right there. Well, it's a great story, and Jim, thank you very much. It was nice talking with you.
Thank you.
Great car. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you
All right.
very much.
All right. So this is Tom, and for Rodders Journal, and we'll let whoever that is kind of settle his. There we go. Anyway, so real traditional channeled, non-California Roadster. Pretty cool. All right. So we'll be back with some more in just a little bit. So thanks to McGuire's, and check out the Rodders Journal website, and we'll be back.